Hello YouTube. Today we are working on a 2016 Honda Accord. We're doing a simple oil change. However, Honda decided to make it a little bit more difficult just than putting your car up on some ramps, rolling underneath there and changing oil. So I'm going to pause this real quick so I can get underneath the car to show you what all is involved in getting this done. Like any car, you're going to have an oil pan with a drain plug just like that to be able to drain your oil. However, Honda decided to put this metal wind deflection tray underneath here, and it's held on with 7 of these simple fasteners. All you need is a flathead screwdriver. You take these 7 fasteners off and this pan will drop out of the way, and you'll be able to get to the oil pan a little bit better, and then also be able to get to the oil filter, which is hidden underneath it. So I'm going to pause it and get this off. One thing I wanted to show you real quick, these little fasteners that come with this thing, they have a little arrow marked on there so you can see which way you need to turn them in order to be able to get them off. Only takes about a quarter turn for the 7 of them to fall off. Once that happens, the whole pan will just very easily slide right out of the way. And then as you can see, there's your oil filter right there, tucked up next to the pan. So now it's just a simple process of draining the oil like you would any other car, replacing the filter, putting the new one back on, and going from there. A couple things I wanted to mention real quick. Obviously, this is the 4-cylinder model for the 2016 Accord. It takes a 17mm socket to get the drain plug out. Once you loosen it, that's what I call the noise. And obviously the oil comes draining out pretty quickly. According to my manual, it already takes synthetic motor oil, so it actually drains out pretty quick. This has maybe been draining for about a minute before I started the video here. So anyway, we'll let that finish draining out. Just get down to the little dribble. We'll replace the oil filter and go from there. One thing too, don't forget when you're putting the oil drain plug back in, don't forget it's not a head bolt. It doesn't have to be torque super tight, just tight enough to make sure the fluid or the new oil doesn't come flowing out. Next, we're going to take off the oil filter. Okay, so back on this Honda oil filter replacement. Now with this location right here, one thing I found out afterwards is when you spin it off, it likes to make a mess and have oil run down everywhere where you think, maybe where you don't think it should. So make sure you have your catch pan position just so, especially for it to run out, obviously along this little plastic air dam piece here too, or else you're going to make a big old mess in your driveway. Also, I bought this car used, and the dealership I bought it from, they had just done an oil change before they put it on their lot to sell, and I guess the tech who was doing it forgot that oil filters don't have to be tightened down like head bolts either, because I had to use an oil filter wrench with a lot of force to be able to get it off. Remember, you don't have to tighten it down quite that tight. You just have to snug it down till the gasket seats real good and that the oil's not going to come flowing back out. Good rule of thumb is once it starts to get snug, no more than 3/4 of a turn after that to make sure it's going to be good and snug and it's not going to leak. And now we're going to clean the mating surface up here off so that we get all the old oil off and make sure the oil filter will seat real good so we don't have any leaks, and then we'll see about adding oil. Alright, so we got the new oil filter in. Obviously, I didn't show it on camera, but you want to take your finger, dip it in the old oil, and rub it around the O-ring on the new filter to lubricate to make sure it seats real good. I went to tighten this one down and spun it on there, and it spins forever. Focus. And I was only able to get it, once it finally started to snug down, probably about a quarter turn, maybe a little bit more than a quarter turn past the snugging down before it hit, and I really can't snug it down anymore where I'm going to be able to get it off. So it's not going anywhere. Actually, might have a little bit too tight now, but it's not going anywhere, and I'm going to back this off just a touch, and then we're going to see about adding oil. Obviously, you want to use the manufacturer's recommended oil, which for this car I believe is 0W20. Obviously you want to use a good quality oil and a good quality oil filter. And once you have everything put back together, obviously it's real easy to find your oil adder here. You're going to need a funnel, obviously, to drain the oil in there. And I believe this car takes 4.5 quarts. Again, I have to double check my owner's manual. This is the first oil change I've ever done on this car. Obviously, fill up the oil, the manufacturer's specifications, and then once you've done everything, done all that, start the car up, run it for a second, check for leaks, make sure your oil pan is not leaking, make sure the oil filter is not leaking. Then you can shut it off and put your windage tray back on. Get your car off the ramps, let it roll down, make sure you've got, check your engine oil dipstick, make sure it's full of oil to the recommended levels, and you're good to go. And you've just changed your own oil. Until next time, hope everyone has a great day. Don't forget to rate, comment, subscribe. Thanks. Bye.